here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a violin and a bow in the same size. It should come in what we call a package with a case, and all three things need to be in the same size. I'm going to show you how to check your size in the next video. To get started, you're just going to need a handful of items. Let's go through them one by one. First, you're going to need a shoulder rest. The shoulder rest attaches to the bottom part of your violin and then sets on your shoulder so that when you turn your jaw sideways, you can hold the instrument without the use of your hands. This means your hands are free to run up and down the neck of the violin. A shoulder rest, that's this part here. It doesn't come with your violin. You can purchase it separately. The shoulder rest that I have is called a Bon Musica. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's super customizable. I strongly encourage this type of a shoulder rest for anyone that's in a full-size violin. Two other great shoulder rest brands are the Kun, K-U-N, and the Everest. And those can be found on Amazon. And the fun thing about the Everest shoulder rest is that they come in multiple colors. You can even get a purple sparkly shoulder rest. The next thing you're going to want is a set of fingernail clippers. You want a set of fingernail clippers to keep in your case. You're going to need to keep those nails clipped each and every week. You're going to need a Sharpie marker. This one, if you're a young kid, you might want to have your parents help you with this. It's just a regular Sharpie. It's nothing super advanced. You do not need black. Red or blue are actually pretty easy to see on your instrument. Black disguises the coloring that we're going to do a little bit. We are not going to draw on the violin itself. We're going to draw on the strings, and that is just fine to do. The next thing you're going to need is some rosin. My favorite type of rosin is this magic rosin. You can get it at magicrosin.com. The fun thing about this magic rosin is that it has fun little pictures and designs on the inside because the rosin itself is clear. The rosin will go onto the bow hairs and it will help the bow make a sound on the violin. When people ask, I think my violin is broken, it doesn't make any sound, it's usually because they have a brand new bow and it has never been rosin before. This rosin is super great sounding, it has a good grip, and it's nice and clear. It's hypoallergenic. If you tend to be allergic to trees and saps and plants, you might want to go this way. Now, you can get a rosin for $5 to $10 at your local music store, but usually if you're getting like an amber, light yellow colored rosin, like a super sensitive or one without a name brand, those rosins can be pretty harsh and pretty squeaky. The upgrade to the $20 rosin will really make a difference in your playing. So if I had one suggestion, it would be to go ahead and get the magic rosin. The next two things are optional, but strongly encouraged. So this one is a fretless finger guide. I also got this on Amazon. What it is it's a really thin piece of kind of plastic material that wraps underneath the strings of your violin, and then it folds together to hold on. There's no glue, there's no sticky mess. It sticks to itself and not the violin. It can make a funny little buzzing sound if yours gets old or if your violin strings are really close to the fingerboard. We'll talk about that later. This will need to be in the same size as your instrument, just as will the shoulder rest. And then the final thing I'm going to suggest is a tuner. If you are new to music and you haven't played music before or you haven't tuned instruments before, this is something you're going to want to do. If you've played piano or you've played like brass or woodwind, that type of tuning is a little different. This is some pretty big tuning we're going to be doing, so it's really nice to either have a clip-on tuner. This one's called a Polytune, but there's a whole bunch of ones that clip on the end of your violin by D'Addario, Korg, any of those, they're going to be great. So a clip-on tuner is a great accessory to help you tune your violin. I'll be showing you how to use it in the tuning section. And then my final favorite thing to have And this is a splurge. They used to run almost $80. Now, because they're a little bit older technology, you can usually find them for $35 to $40 on sale. It's an IMT 301 Intelli. And what it is it's an all-in-one device. It's a metronome. It'll click the beats for you, and it has lots of fun little rhythms it'll play. You can play essentially any rhythm you want with this metronome. It also has a tuner, so it'll do a similar thing to the clip-on tuner, but here's the difference. This one you tune through the air. So you're going to turn it on, play your instrument, and it's going to listen to you. So if you're in a loud room or with other musicians, this isn't going to work to tune with, because if you have other sounds playing, you're not going to be able to tune yourself with it. So that's why for performances or just really quick small tunings, or if you're a young students do the best with one of these type of tuners. But you really can't beat this one because you'll be able to tune your violin. It'll also tell you what pitch you're on, how far off you are, you'll be able to see. It will also play a whole bunch of sounds for you, and this is extremely important on the violin. One of the most important things to learn how to do is to match your pitch or center your pitch and make it sound great with a pitch on a machine like this or a cello drone. I'll teach you that in the course as well. But I do strongly encourage the Intelli IMT 301 on Amazon.